Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio.
And welcome to another episode of Activists Around the World or Changemakers Around the World, because we're not talking about people who are in activism necessarily, but they're actively changing perspective on misogynistic ideas in sports. Hey,
nice.
I did it. Did you like that? Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
As in fact, we did a recent episode on women and mountaineering, and Anney has apparently jumped back into the rabbit hole of mountaineering, so this is perfect timing, I think.
Yes.
And we wanted to take some time to keep celebrating those who are getting out there and breaking records. And just a reminder, mountaineering does have some controversy behind it and is a hazardous sport. Go check out the recent episode to hear more about that. Very fun episode, too. But first, yes, we wanted to talk about Afghani mountaineer Fatima Soltani, who is an avid sportswoman. She is very involved with a lot of jiu-jitsu and martial arts, and apparently really good at it. So from her Instagram, seems to be really, really good at it. But she became the youngest woman at the age of 18 to climb the highest peak in Afghanistan, Noshak, and I really hope I said that right, which is 7,492 meters or 24,580 feet high. And Soltani went with a team of 9, including 3 women, and she decided that she needed to do this. She's been training for this for days. It was a 17-day journey, and after completing it, she pretty much said that this is not her only one. And when quoted about why she did it, she said, Afghan women have fought for their freedom and rights for 20 years. They climbed high mountains and made a name for themselves. I hope they are free to climb high mountains again inside and outside of this country. And I thought that was a beautiful statement. She's actually been recognized by the BBC 100 Women as well, and has done some amazing things. You should definitely go check out her Instagram if you can, because she's doing some big adventures, playing in the snow, doing some dancing in the snow. Really cute. But congratulations to her.
Yes, indeed. And we have records that have been broken on the summit of Mount Everest as well, including 48-year-old Lapka Sherpa, a Nepalese mountaineer who continues to break records in 2022, and who we did mention in our previous mountaineering episode, which has a lot of stuff about the climbing of Everest in general. So again, go check that out. Sherpa broke her own record for the most summits of the world's highest mountains by a woman. She achieved 10 summits up Mount Everest, which is 8,846.86 meters, or 29,034.69 feet. And that's the 8,000 Club. I think I talked about that.
Yep.
Only a certain number of peaks.
Yes, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes as well.
Oh, exciting. And in 2021, 3 sisters from Rolwaling Valley, and I hope I didn't butcher that, broke the record for most sisters to climb Everest together. I love that that's a record. That's great.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah. Sisters Dawa Futi Sherpa, Shirang Namya Sherpa, and Nima Jangmu Sherpa became the first group of 3 sisters to climb together as a family up Everest. And this is just one of several. The sisters have named their expedition as 3 Sisters on 7 Summits. That's great. The sisters have plans to climb all the highest summits on all 7 continents. It's not just for the glory and for the guts, for the recognition, but in dedication to their father, who was an avid climber as well and had climbed Everest in 1982 and lost 8 fingers due to frostbite, but kept climbing until 2007. And then there is the all-black expedition, which was the first time the entire member of the party climbing was black. The team comprised of 7 members from Kenya and the United States, including Rosemary Saul from Seattle and Abby Dion from Florida. They celebrated their successful summit in May of 2022.
And lastly, we know we are missing several others we probably should be revisiting. And if you know some audience listeners, please send it to us because we love them and we want to recognize all of them. But we wanted to recognize Norwegian climber Kristen Herilla, who is on track to break the Super Peaks record. And this is what we were talking about, the 8,000 meter club. And she is only 3 mountains away from doing this in record time. And she just completed summiting one of Pakistan's highest mountains, which, by the way, there are several in Pakistan that seems really, really dangerous. There's 5, as in fact, including the K2, the world's 2nd highest mountain. And apparently, there's a lot of people doing this trek right now. The tourism department said there was at least 1,800, and this was like a few days ago. So 1,800 permits have been given out to climb this mountain or to summit this mountain. So it's pretty big. And if you wanted to know, there's only about 40 people in history who've summited all 14 of the super peaks and of all times. Apparently, the last record was held by a Nepali climber, Nirmal Purja, and I'm so sorry if I said that wrong, who did it in 6 months and 6 days. And yeah, she has until early November to complete her quest to beat his time. So we'll definitely be watching for that. And she said about climbing and why it's so important to her. She says, in history and until now, it's been the strong macho men going out climbing mountains. When I talk to people that are not in the sport, they believe that men are more capable than women. If we're going to change, we need to get attention and show that women are just as capable. And I love that. So she has 3 remaining mountains, which are... bear with me with these names. Cho Oyu, which is in Nepal, China. Manaslu, which is in Nepal. And Shishapangma in China. And if I butchered that, I am so sorry, y'all. Come yell at me. But yeah, so congratulations to her on her trek. And we are definitely going to keep watching and cross our fingers.
Yes. Yes. So much inspiring stuff. And I'm so happy to see and hear these kind of quotes about it. So yeah, listeners, if you know anybody we should talk about in this or any other kind of similar field, we would love to get suggestions. We always love suggestions.
Yes.
So you can email us at stephanie@momstuff@iheartmedia.com. You can find us on Twitter at momstuffpodcast or on Instagram at Stuff I've Never Told You. Thanks as always to our super producer, Christina.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for listening. Stuff I Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.